So, Olivia, today we thought we might reflect a little bit on art, your art, what inspires you to paint, and what you think about this.
Well, something's happened to me. I can't imagine what. Maybe it's visiting Pele, maybe it's in a flat in London being surrounded by the works of the amazing man Osmond Spare, who was very peculiar, or meeting all that sort of art. I don't know what. Something loosened up for me in the last 5 months. That I found a new technique. You see, before I was a graphic artist. You know, I didn't do a third dimension. But suddenly I was doing this stuff, and what was odd is it came out completely differently from what I expected. What I do is I never do any painting unless I've had an apparition or seen the being I'm doing. So I'd see, well, Pele, the goddess of volcanoes, well, I've got her up and I painted her. So they do look fairly authentic, I feel. Because these beings have energy bodies. We've got biological bodies that are very transient. And then we have our energy bodies when we die. We pass on. We have our out-of-body things, bodies celestial, bodies physical. But there are other beings who very sensibly don't like being incarnate. It's rather rough, rather tough business being here. But the other ones I like painting because my form of psychism isn't to see great Aunt Margaret or somebody, it's to see these beings like A.E. did, you know, George Russell. Had the same, I thought it marvellous when I was a girl that he could do that. I've got one of his paintings, but then I found more and more I'm doing it. And first I did it graphically, outline, but of course they don't have an outline. And yet I was hopeless. I was no good at all at oil painting. I did win a scholarship at the National University of the History of European Painting. I had all the knowledge. I went to the Grosvenor School of Modern Art, no good. Then suddenly this year, after the vernal equinox, I suppose you could say, I suddenly began this new way, and it does make me laugh because people say, where do you get this marvellous substances you're painting with, because it makes everything else look dead. The answer is I went down to the village shop and bought a tin of emulsion, white emulsion. Now I put that as a background, and then I just had ordinary common, I don't like acrylons and what have you, just ordinary poster paints. And it's a mixture of matte poster paints, flat, and this weird whitey silvery stuff, whether it's, I have it with black or any colour. I think it's rather vulgar if I had colour. I just have white emulsion mixed, and it has an extraordinary effect. When I see energy bodies, that is beings made of energy, they're like that. You see, they're not fluffy. People think when you're dead you wander around like a bit of fluff if you are anywhere. Not in the least. People have, they don't have bones, but they have an inner structure corresponding to chakras. You know, the central pillar, and then you have the solar plexus chakra, the heart, the throat, all the way up. And you see them when you're being psychic as glowing. So the idea that we're fluffy and non-existent when we're dead is nonsense. We have this inner body, which relates to greater realms than this. I like the word greater rather than higher.